What up? Big Herc 916. Positivity, motivation. Never settle for average. Go pick you up some merch at nsfa.co and represent. And I just want to say that when you're out there looking for your significant other, when you're looking for that special woman in your life, there's more to the relationship than a big ass and some hot coochie. There's more to it than that, man. And a prime example is when you look on social media and you see all these single late 20s, early 30s women that are thirsty, showing their ass, trying to get somebody to pay attention to them, trying to get some man to DM them so that they can be rescued. And yes, I say rescued because no woman in her late 20s, early 30s wants to entertain that she might be single for the rest of her life, or jumping from hammer to hammer, because everybody wants to eventually grow old with somebody special. And after the sex, after the thrashing in the bed and the wild lust moments, you want to be able to have a conversation. You want to be able to talk about your future. You want to be able to share your most intimate thoughts. Have somebody you can confide in, somebody you can trust, somebody you can create experiences with, somebody that cares about how your day went. You care about how their day went. You help build your dreams, your goals together. You're looking for value, man. You're not just looking for everything to happen in the bedroom all day long, because you got to have a life outside the bedroom. And that's why a lot of these relationships don't work, and why you see a lot of women that are thirsty in their late 20s, early 30s, because they haven't developed that foundation for that man that they're looking to build a future with. Maybe they were chasing a guy with the big hammer. Maybe they were chasing a guy with the big pocketbook, and along that they passed up a lot of quality guys who were maybe trying to get their shit together, or maybe these guys weren't these Adonis body guys, or they weren't the epitome of what they thought society wanted them to be represented with. And so they kept searching and searching and searching and jumping around, and all these other opportunities passed them by. Then you have the other women who are, you see, married, but you could tell they with a cold weenie, a simp, because he could provide and he did have the financial backing, but sexually he just doesn't do it. And I'm not blaming, like I said, just the women. I'm saying, the men out there having their shit together also. And I've talked to a lot of single females, late 20s, early 30s and 40s, and it's slim pickings. It's slim pickings. They jumped in relationships with guys, and these guys turned out to be pieces of shit, and now they're single, and the dating scene is horrible. So don't think I'm just picking on you women. I know that there's not a lot of stock out there, quality stock, but for my brothers out there, there's more to, like I said, a big ass and a pretty smile. And in relationships, you got to look for more than just the body, the physicality, and the sex. You got to look for some type of conversation, some type of stimulation, some type of mental mental connection, man. You know, something spiritually that makes you feel like you have something you could build with. And sometimes you grow apart because you go in different directions. Sometimes you grow stronger. But you know, when you see these, like I said, single women that are just doing stuff that you see young girls doing, you're gonna have to question it. Because there's actually gonna be a shortage of good men out there real soon. And it's actually right now, as far as quality guys who you can actually exchange dialogue with, that aren't talking about their video games, that aren't talking about just nonsense conversation, sports, or things that, you know, really are just entertaining things, but, you know, meaningful conversations about life, the future, and the existence of humanity. There's not a lot of that out there. And men out there, you know, the ones who do have conversation, you know what I'm talking about, and the ones who don't, you know what I'm talking about. But it is a challenge, and bringing value, you know, there's got to be value to a relationship. If a man brings you know, his financial, his health, I mean, you don't want no Teletubby on top of you every day. I've seen that too, where you got these guys out here, you could tell they blowed out, ain't working with nothing, but maybe they provide a financial, and you can see literally when the woman looks at him, she's grossed out. I've seen these women look at their men, and I've seen one woman look at her guy and his shirt went up a little bit, and she looked at his stomach and she looked like she was about to puke. But she's with him. And of course she looked like she was foreign, and he was like, you know, is one of those male brides. But woo, horrible trade-off to have that thing on top of you every night, knowing that that's what you've compromised, I guess, your citizenship over here for. But it is a crazy game, the dating game, the relationship game, the marriage game, and it's not without its ups and downs. Nothing's perfect, but the challenges of finding somebody who's compatible, and there's a balance of conversation, sex, finances. I know it's far and few between, but as you get older, that pool of people narrows, and it becomes smaller and smaller. And especially for women, because, you know, older guys tend to date younger women, and so it shifts. But I see these like I said, these women out there, man, and they start attaching themselves to animals, cats, dogs, and saying they're happy, and they're lying to you. They're not happy. They're not happy. So if you are a man out there and you're talking about the late 20s to early 40s, man, you have your pick of the litter right now. It's wide open. If you're single, it's because you want to be, and I would advise you to get your shit together and make it happen for the holidays. Bust some cheeks. But just beware. And like I said, I'm not just blaming the women, because I know you're doing what you got to do to find somebody. And a lot of these guys, you know, they got into a point now where some of them just don't really care. And a lot of other guys have been demasculinized, so they don't really know how to be a man anymore. And you got a lot of simps. You got a lot of simps out there, plain and simple. So simps don't know how to treat a woman how they need to be treated. So I have these conversations with my wife about just a lot of the women that we see when we go out and just see on social media, and if you're single, especially like I said for a woman, because, you know, beyond a certain point, you got men now looking for younger women to maybe have kids with or start a new life with after his divorce, and it becomes harder and harder for an older woman to find that special man. So just a little food for thought, man. Look for quality. And I know the search is far and few between, but young guys out there, or men out there in general, I know you got your pick of the litter if you got your shit together. But this is real talk, man. The game is challenging, and you got to always look at the pros and cons, man. Big Herc 916.
Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said, wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com.
Hello, I'm Big Herc 916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.